The marriage institution, highly placed in Africa, marked with dowry payment, bound by expensive rings, expensive gowns not forgotten, lovely receptions, delicious meals, sweet cakes, but now has been monetized to be a source of property to some families. This is the striker, and this is CSTV. Have it true and real.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kathleen. Please remember to subscribe. Please look at the subscription button and see whether you have subscribed. 1, 2, 3. Yes, good. Now, in today's discussion, I'm looking at the mothers who actually use their son-in-laws as ATM machines. And I'm raising this issue because it's one of the major things that actually are breaking families, bringing conflict and hatred among married couples or between married couples down in the African continent. And I'm saying this because marriage is highly celebrated and placed in the African society. When somebody is getting married, we jubilate, we celebrate. Actually, we do big weddings. I think it's Africa where we have one of the most expensive weddings. But you realize that once a woman has gotten married, most families now start seeing the son-in-law as a source of income. They see that marriage as an investment. They see that marriage as a source of income for the family of the girl, all of the wife. And the question is, why do you make life hard for your children that when they get married, you want now to be following them up? If they buy something new, you as the mother-in-law, you are there saying, oh, I also want. And it's so bad that when your daughter gets married and like 2 weeks later, you start sending the siblings there, munaenda kusalimia sister, tunaenda kukaa kwa sister yetu. Wewe mwenyewe kama mama umetoka kwako, hata umeacha bwanako, umeenda kukaa kwa msichanako. Seriously, don't you think that actually married people need to be given time to grow, to establish themselves? Because by the end of the day, they cannot pour out of an empty grass. You realize that hiyo ndio time unaanza kuambia msichana wako nilikufunza, ho nimekulea, ho uko na damu yangu. The question is, who told you that the man also, the family has not educated him? Aijamulea ama yeye hana damu ya kwao? So you realize that parents from the girl's side sometimes put a lot of pressure on the woman to remove money from her matrimonial home and the property to make her parents happy. While all this is happening, you realize that in the family, a lot of things remain stagnant. The man is the only source of income. A woman's money now has become my money because she has to take care of her siblings, of her mother, of her father, and everything back at home, simply because now she has gotten married. We even have those mothers who call their daughters and tell them, go and lie, I need this and this. We have those parents who even lie that they are very extremely sick, they need a lot of money. So you realize that this week you'll get a phone call, your mother is sick. Next week you'll get a phone call, your sibling was sent from school. Next week you'll get a phone call, the cow is sick, it needs to be taken to the veterinary. Next time you get a phone call, a property has been seen somewhere, and because you are the one who has been married, you are supposed to provide money to buy this property. So you realize that by the end of the day, actually, we take this marriage more of an ATM machine, more of an economic venture than anything else. So the question is, mothers and the parents of girls, what is wrong with you? And sometimes you realize that the mothers who press their daughters to bring them money home, they have never pressed their husbands to give them money to take to their homes. So why are you pressing your daughter to build you a bungalow if your own husband never built you that bungalow? Why do you give your son-in-law the responsibility to acquire property for you when your husband, who went to your father and your mother's family and paid dowry has not actually given you that property, why do you press your son-in-law to start paying school fee for your children that you gave birth to, when actually he has not even paid school fee for his own children, and even for his own siblings? Why do you give birth to children and give the responsibility of bringing up those children to your son-in-law? Honestly, there's something not going on well in Africa, and we need to uproot this problem. And you see, that's why we have a long cycle of poverty, because you give birth to children. When they start getting jobs and getting married, you start telling them, I took you to school and now you are getting married. Now you should use your husband's money to buy me land, build me a house, equip my house, take care of your siblings, and take care of every needs that I have. So you realize that young couples struggle to make their parents happy during their productive years. By the time they turn 40, they have nothing. Children have caught up with them. Now you realize that now the cycle continues. So they also say, let me bring up this daughter, so when he will get married, I will ask for a higher dowry. I will do the same thing my mom did to me, to the husband. So you see, this is how we make a cycle of poverty, and that's why you realize that rich families will continue being richer and richer, because you realize that most of these parents from rich families, they support their children even when their children have been married. But when you look at the middle class and poor families in Africa, they take marriage as employment, as a source of income, and their son-in-laws are replaced, whether they are good or not. They are defined as good or not depending on how much the daughter brings from him to the family. So you realize that there is this daughter who has gotten married, and because she's not singing to the tune of the mother or the father to use the husband as an ATM machine, she's normally regarded that aliolewa akaanza kutulingia, alifunzwa atusaidi. Like, you make it a moral responsibility of your daughter to take care of you when you are supposed to be the parent to take care of her. You make it a moral responsibility that your children becomes your parents when you are actually parents who are supposed to take care of children. Something needs to be done. Socialization has to start. This aspect of blackmailing young people, that when they take care of their parents they become blessed, but use that thing as a blackmail, as a slavery trap, to make them work for parents, and by the end of the day, when they reach the age of their parents, they have nothing, and they start now maltreating their own children the same way, has to come to an end. Africa young people will continue to die of depression, not because the economic times are bad, no, but because sometimes the pressure from parents and the society is huge. You are a woman, you have gotten married. When you go to your mother's house, the first thing she will remind you, so and so his daughter built a house for the father, so and so his daughter put a pickup for the mother, so and so his daughter put up a business for the mother. So it's like they are telling you, you are not good enough because you are not doing Wazazi, we need to stop this madness and support our children. Remember, they are your children whether they are married or not, and stop using people's sons. Stop using your son-in-laws as ATM machines. Thank you so much.